His brand new hit show, Real Rob, can be seen on TV, your smartphone, or any Netflix streaming device. Teaming up with Rob Schneider, comedian Jamie Lissow is headlining the Funny Bone Comedy Club this weekend. Although their initial shows were sold out, they've added a Sunday night show, which tickets are still available. Hey everybody, Dustin Dales here once again. This weekend, Funny Bone Comedy Club, it's a Netflix preview, you could say, if you haven't had a chance to watch the show. Got two actors this weekend in the Funny Bone from the Netflix hit show Real Rob. Season 1 is on Netflix right now. Rob Schneider himself will be here this weekend, but tonight, Thursday, as well as the rest of the week, I believe, right?
Yeah, man. So I'm doing
perfect.
Tonight. I'm meeting Rob here tomorrow, and we're both doing the whole weekend.
Look at that. If you're a fan of Netflix shows, boom, you got both main actors right here in Omaha for you to check out. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jamie Lissow.
Yay.
How you doing, man?
Good, doing great. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. I understand you had a bit of a layover in California.
Dude, I did. California, when it rains, people go insane. Like, people lose their minds. People are outside. They're acting as if they're iPhones. Like, I'm going to break. I'm like, dude, you're not. You're going to be fine. I swear to God, man, because I literally got here a day late because of this rain. I haven't seen this kind of overreaction to water since the Wicked Witch of the West. This is the kind of reactions I've been seeing. But I made it, dude. I'm so relieved because you never know. And it's a little crazy here, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I was just out there.
Yeah, it's crazy here. Right now, outside, it's a little slushy. Got about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of slush. But that's not really something you're too unfamiliar with. You live different than most comics. You live in Alaska.
I do. A lot of times they say, your management, your agent, they say to you, when you finally work after 20 years and get a hit show on Netflix, you want to move as far away as possible from all industry. And so I just moved to Alaska because my wife's family's from there, and I kind of need I need these two lives. I need comedy, which I love, but I also need to be able to go home and do the home thing and take a break from it all. And it's beautiful there, man. It's like it's a really nice area. It's funny, the ratio of guys to girls in Alaska is it's 5 to 1. They told me that the first day I got there, I'd ever been to Alaska, they said the ratio of guys to girls is 5 to 1. I was thinking that's going to be kind of awkward, especially like if you don't know the other 4 guys.
Yeah, that makes for some bad bar nights.
Yeah, you got to get acquainted fast.
Now, when you're in Alaska, you're trying to commute for auditions and gigs and stuff. That's a whole plane ride commute. Now, is there an easier way to get gigs in Alaska?
There is, and I'll tell you, it's not too bad. You can get to Seattle by the morning flight. Okay. So like you leave at 1 a.m, so it's sort of like you live in Seattle. But yeah, man. So the way the world is these days, you put everything on tape. That's the way it works, man. It's a great time to live in Alaska. Thank God, my wife would say. Like in LA, I work similar to the way a lot of other comics work, and it's funny. A lot of guys are doing things like not living in Alaska, but maybe living in St. Louis, where they're from, because they're comfortable there. And then when you want to try to get on Conan, you slide them over a tape. When you want to, a part comes up, in your house, you set up a camera and you tape. And then that way you can try it like 100 times. So if you suck, you can just keep trying it over and over.
That's a very good point. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Sending in tapes is easier than doing it in front of them.
I wish I could send tapes in just in regular life. Like even talking to girls, like you can't be talking to a girl and be like, oh, cut. Let's try that again. And then walk in.
I like that. That's a good way to look at it.
Right?
Especially when it's 5 to 1 ratio. You can send them tapes. You can send them the best of those.
Like I met my wife in Alaska, and when I left, I think the ratio changed. Like it flipped, like a number flipped, Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they were mad when I left with her. Because they were like, oh, I took one of our girls, man.
You're leaving them with nothing, man.
Yeah, but that's a weird thing, but I live in Alaska.
Now, one of your projects that you work on besides Netflix, which I want to get into, because I caught the show this week, and I love the show. I'm a big fan. I want to talk about that, but also I was intrigued. You've got a couple books that are a little bit different. They're shorter books.
Yeah, man. So I started releasing these little mini books. It's the Phenoms, is what the series is called, and it's basically like the Avengers, but these people have talents that you can really have in real life. Like if you Googled it, you would find someone with these talents, like guys with like crazy memories, or guys who are really good at observation, like a Sherlock Holmes type of guy. And yeah, so I released these books almost like you would watch that show 24 with Jack Bauer. And basically it's like episode 1, episode 2. And yeah, I got 2 of them out of an eventual. It's looking like 20 now.
Nice.
It was going to be 10. But yeah, the first one's called The Rememberer, and then The Life Hack is the second one, and another one comes out next week. But yeah, you just go to Amazon, throw my name in there.
Is it a serial type book, or is it all
Yeah.
kind of come together in the end?
It's a serial type book, so one leads into the other. But they're kind of entertaining on their own. But yeah, it's all part of one big thing.
Hey, you're working on a couple other books as well, right?
Yeah, I just started writing a couple children's books. So I just finished my first 2 little children's books, and they're not out yet. I'm still in the process of getting them back from an editor, but I'm super psyched about it, man. It's because I have kids. I have 3 children, so I'm basically an expert in children's books because this is all I do. And all you do, you don't have kids yet, but you
Not
will
yet.
soon.
I will.
All you do is try to make your kids laugh. That becomes your full-time job, is making your kids laugh. And dude, I can crush, like, my best audience is like a 7-year-old. Like, if there were a bunch of 7-year-olds here, dude, I know what to, like, I would just say, like, you wouldn't even know what I was talking about. I would just say, like, but and things like that, and I know, like, the key points to press. So I wrote this book called Drew and the Magic Joke Book,
Okay.
you know, and it's about this little boy who's new to a school. And really quick, because it's kind of something that actually happened to my son. My son, who's 7, his name is Charlie. His first day of school, he changed his name. So what happened was, they were going around the room, and his name's Charlie, and they were calling on different people. And the teacher said, Charlie, you know, and then said some last name. He thought it was going to be him. But next to him, someone stands up, like another Charlie, and it's a girl.
Oh.
So it's a girl with his name, like his name, Charlie. So then it gets to him, and the teacher says, you know, my last name's Lissow. So she goes, Charlie, and he goes, Charles Lissow, and changes his name to Charles. And now we can't even call him Charlie anymore.
He thinks on his feet. I like that, though.
Dude, he he thinks on his feet, but I'm a little pissed. You should have to ask.
Netflix right now is huge. I mean, they had a huge thing over the weekend, Making a Murderer. It's just the place to be is on Netflix.
Yeah.
And you got a show on Netflix. How did you go about getting Real Rob, and what is that show for people that don't know?
Yeah, so it's I'll make it a short story, but it was one of the coolest, longest, you know, most arduous processes. But Rob Schneider had an idea to write the show he's always wanted to do, which is to say, like, not necessarily a network show where you're getting notes back, where you're getting casting recommendations, where they're casting it for you. He wanted to make a show where he was in complete creative control, and so we did just that. Like, I wrote it with him and his wife. The 3 of us wrote it, and so we wrote 8 episodes of a show, and then Rob basically self-financed the production of 8 episodes of a television show, which is not easy, man. We're talking about a crew of, you know, lots and lots of people and lots of insurance and lots of filming and locations. We did half of it, you know, 3 months in Orlando, Florida, 3 months in Los Angeles, and all these. And so we finished the whole thing. You know, it's wrapped about a year ago, and then there's editing, and they finally get it edited. And throughout that process, you're kind of trying to find a home for it. And from the day one, we had said Netflix would absolutely be the place. That would be the place because it's, you know, it's since I have Netflix, I've actually canceled all of my other friendships.
A lot of people are doing friends.
Yeah, like it's all we have, and so we were like, dude, this Netflix has more viewers than CBS. You know,
It's crazy.
It's getting insane, and so when it all kind of happened. You know, like they wanted to buy it right when we were ready to sell it, and there it is. And as of December 1st, it was streaming on Netflix. His special's on there. His last hour special he sold to them. And so the relationship was there, and boom, not only does it go on Netflix, I get messages every day. If I pulled my phone out, I'm scared because of some of the material that's in the pictures. But every day I get an email from, this afternoon, watching your show, I'm in Scotland. Watching your show in Canada, watching your show, because it released on Netflix International, not just U.S. So awesome, man. It's just great to have it's great to work really hard on something and not only have everyone watching it, but literally be able to walk. Say I'm walking on the street. Everyone walking towards me, I'm walking through the mall. Everyone walking around me has the ability to get that show because they all have a phone. If they don't have a phone, like an iPhone, I know at home they have a computer. Everyone you see, I know that they're within striking distance of pulling up our show, which you couldn't necessarily say for a network show.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. I know I have Netflix on my phone, so that's primarily how I watch Netflix. Like when I'm at the airport, when I'm waiting at the doctor. So it's very cool. So that's really cool to hear, man. I'm very excited for the show. Can we expect season 2?
I mean, we're not supposed to say anything yet, but we have it mapped out. We have great ideas. We're all of us are ready and willing. So it's all about seeing where it would be and when it would happen. But I mean, I feel good about it. I don't know. We have to do season 2. I think there's just we have too many ridiculous ideas for season 2 not to share it with people, and it seems like there's a demand for it. So we'll just kind of wait and see.
Well, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, it is Real Rob on Netflix. And if you're here in town, make sure you stop out at the Funny Bone. He's here Thursday tonight, of course, but he's here again on Friday and Saturday. So make sure you come out and check him out, and he'll be here with Rob, his co-star. You're going to meet both the stars of your new favorite Netflix show. I mean, let's face it, it'll be your new favorite show.
And can I just say, I don't want people to think that, all I do is stuff with Rob Schneider, and I just go on his coattails. I certainly have a lot of, stuff that I do, on my own.
Right.
And you can check it out on my website, robschneidersfriend.com.
On robschneidersfriend.com, you can see his 30-minute Comedy Central special. You can see some appearances on Leno, all sorts of great stuff. He's the best friend of Rob Schneider on that side. Best friend.
You can
Rob.
get there by also going to AdamSandlersFriendFriend.com.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, those will get you right.
6 degrees of Rob, one way or another. Right? Well, hey, thank you for hanging out with me, Jamie.
Thank you, man.
And I'm
Thanks
looking
a lot.
forward to the show this weekend. I think I'm going to be checking out the Saturday night show.
All
So
right,
I'm looking
very
forward
nice.
to it. And hope you have a safe trip back to Alaska.
All right, man. Great talking to you.
Take it easy.
You too.